What's going on, everybody? Colin here with Techout, and I've been meaning to make this video for quite a while. What smart home platform do I use, and what's my favorite, and why do I use it? Well, I'm gonna go with HomeKit right off the bat here. We're not gonna waste anybody's time. HomeKit. I think if you have Apple devices, HomeKit is the way to go. And I'm gonna kind of run you guys through the progression of this and the story. I've used smart home devices for a long time. If anybody remembers when Belkin Wemo first came out with their smart plug and the Belkin Wemo app, this was years before HomeKit was even a thing. That was probably the first smart home stuff that I had. Coolest thing ever. Had one in my bedroom. Had one in here in the office for the lights. They were just plug it into the wall and plug in your light to that. And then they came out with like light switches and some other accessories. I think they made like a coffee maker. You could set timers and stuff like that and start from the Belkin Wemo app. They made a crock pot. My mom actually has one. I actually got her one. You could just change the temperature and set the time for the temperature to change in the Wemo app, which is pretty helpful for a crock pot, because if you know what a crock pot is, you basically slow cook in it. You put it on the counter in the morning, put your food in, start it up, and go off to work, and it's basically an all-day thing. So being able to control the temperature and stuff like that throughout the day remotely was a really nice feature. And now we have other stuff that can do stuff like that. A bunch of appliances are IoT and all that kind of stuff now. But that was back before all that was really big. And Belkin was kind of, I don't know if they were the biggest, but they were pretty popular with accessories and stuff like that. Obviously the plugs were Wi-Fi and the crockpot was Wi-Fi, and the app, everything connected within the app, and you could access it remotely. You didn't have to be on the same network or anything like that. And I used a Belkin switch for my front porch light for the longest time, because back in the old days, you have to at night it gets dark outside, you flip your front porch light on and get up in the morning, turn your front porch light off, put the Belkin Wemo switch up there, set a timer, and never have to touch it again. Well, Belkin shut Wemo down. Wemo doesn't, the cloud services don't exist anymore. So if you had any of the Wi-Fi connected stuff, it doesn't work anymore. They do still have, your HomeKit stuff will still work if you have their HomeKit compatible products. But that was something later on down the road, and I had moved on from Wemo. So I never got any of their HomeKit compatible stuff. But that's where I kind of started. And that brings me to my first point and why I love HomeKit so much. And that's because it integrates different brands into one app. Whereas back before HomeKit, I had the Belkin Wemo, and then maybe I had a thermostat, and then maybe I had, some other couple smart appliances, I don't, off the top of my head, but, then you're up into 4 and 5 different apps for each brand, or an app for each brand rather. You gotta get 4 or 5 different apps on your phone. You gotta have a folder for your smart home stuff. You want to control products in your home, you got to go through a bunch of different apps. Whereas with HomeKit, you can have multiple brands. I've got, I have a smart lock, I have smart bulbs, I have smart switches, a bunch of different stuff, all in HomeKit. I don't have to go different apps, anything like that. So that's why I recommend HomeKit. There's other platforms that you can do that on that integrate different brands, but HomeKit's already built in right to your phone. And that brings me to this other point. I have this thing called Home Assistant running here on a little home PC. And this, what it does, it allows you to integrate other services that aren't necessarily natively HomeKit compatible. And with, if we go down to settings here, we go to, devices and services, it will expose some of these items with a HomeKit bridge. So things like, Ring, and these lights right here, and this smart plug right here, which is a little bit older one that I had that I just got for cheap on Amazon. You can find plugins or integrations, as they're called, on HomeKit, and you can integrate things and then expose them on HomeKit. So I can just push them over and they still show up in HomeKit from this. And this HomeKit, or Home Assistant rather, does a bunch of different stuff. It runs my, it's got its own app. I can actually make a dashboard on here, a completely custom dashboard if I want to, and show, you can control devices directly from here. The reason mine is so janky and not set up is because I really just use this to push things over to HomeKit. Nobody in my house uses the Home Assistant app. So I usually just use this for HomeKit, but it also runs my HomeGuard DHCP server, or sorry, DNS server, right here within this. And there's a couple other things you can do with it as well that I don't necessarily do. But that's one of the reasons that I love, this, because I can just kind of tie everything in. I've got my iPhone, and I open up Home, and you can see with the Ring, it says snapshot failed right now because I have my Ring motion detection off, so it's not actually capturing snapshots. But if it was on in the Ring app, it would show up here. That's not a problem with this. That's just that. But that's part of the Ring thing in Home Assistant. I can see my Ring doorbell right there, and I can also get Ring alerts, notifications for the actual doorbell itself within Home. My HomePod dings. It'll show up on my Apple TV. All that kind of stuff. And really, I've never had an issue with HomeKit. I mean, most of the devices I've used within HomeKit are fairly reliable. I have some old Honeywell Lyric round thermostats that they like to disconnect, but they're kind of like first generation. I'm actually getting some new Honeywell X8S thermostats that are Matter supported, and they'll show up in Home and all that kind of stuff. So I will be using those here shortly. I'll be doing a video on that once I get it installed. They're not here yet, so once they get here, I'll get them installed, and then I will do a video reviewing those because they are fairly new and I haven't really been able to find any videos on them. So HomeKit, in my opinion, is the way to go. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do with it if you know what you're doing, and there's automations and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for a home platform, I recommend trying HomeKit. And one mistake, don't make the mistake that I did early on. Don't set up stuff in HomeKit and then go buy something that's not HomeKit compatible, and then buy something else from another platform. Don't get your platforms mixed up. It's a pain in the butt. Me and my dad like to do smart home stuff, and sometimes he'll go and, like, my parents replaced the light fixtures in the kitchen, and he bought like some GEC sync light bulbs, or whatever they're called, and they're just Wi-Fi bulbs. They work with HomeKit through the app, or no, sorry, they work with the Amazon Assistant, so I don't trigger everybody's stuff. But I was able to expose them in HomeKit with Home Assistant. But they were just Wi-Fi bulbs. They would always disconnect. They were unreliable. We already had Hue bulbs that never have a problem, and went out and bought some other brand and changed it up. Guess what we went back to? Hue bulbs. Replaced every light bulb in the kitchen with a Hue bulb. The fixtures in the ceiling, the can lights, Hue bulbs. They actually make a retrofit. You can just slap them on in there. You don't have to screw a bulb in. They make a plug-in, and it actually covers up the can. Really nice. I've got one in my bathroom, multicolored light. Got some in the kitchen. They're all multicolored lights. Really cool. The bulbs and the little hang-down lights above our kitchen island, switched them over to Hue. The Hue bulbs are always responsive. They've got the bridge, so if your internet goes down, you can still use HomeKit locally and still turn your lights on and off. You don't have to worry about any of that. So if you start a smart home setup, keep everything on one platform. If it supports HomeKit and Amazon, that's fine. But don't get something, don't set up HomeKit and then get something that only supports Google and Amazon, because then you've got to use your Amazon Assistant to do some things, and then you can do some things with HomeKit, which most of our stuff does work with both, and we do have Echoes downstairs. We've got the wall smart home hub from Amazon in the kitchen and stuff like that. It works pretty good because you can just say, a word from Amazon, turn on the light, whatever. Works pretty fine. But if Apple does advance their smart home stuff and they, excuse me, if they advance their smart home stuff and they come out with like a hub with a screen on it, and Siri gets a little better, I I would probably switch all the Amazon stuff to Siri and HomeKit, just because then it is all right there. You got it on your iPhone, you got it on your iPad, you got it on your Apple TV, you got it on everything. It's just all in one. You add something on your phone, you've got your home set up with your family, all that kind of stuff. And that's the other thing about the Alexa, is the Echoes on my downstairs are my dad's. They're on his account, and then I've got a couple up here on my account. So if you add smart home stuff, you got to link it to your Amazon stuff and your add the skill to Alexa and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pain in the butt. Whereas home, you can add family members that are in the same household, in the same house. And, if I add something or my dad adds something, we both see it. It's both organized by room. The only downfall to HomeKit, the only thing I wish they would change is the scenes. You can see I have two scenes up here, morning and night. And you can't, get the camera to readjust there, you can't set scenes per room. So I wish I could have my own scenes, because if I have like a night scene, right, like where I want to turn my lights off in my room, like if I want to hit night, my bathroom lights turn off, my bedroom light turns off, my LED light strip, does whatever. It's per home. So like my parents can't set a night scene for downstairs where it locks the front door and turns off the kitchen lights and the living room lights and that kind of stuff, because you can't have multiple scenes running at the same time. So I do wish that Apple would make it so you can have like scenes in every room. And maybe I'm missing something. If somebody knows a trick to maybe do something like this, let me know in the comments below. But I have, in all my years of been using HomeKit, have not been able to find out a way to make a scene that is set to a specific room. If we go into edit scene here, you can see there's no settings for that. It just has the accessories, what room they're in, and what it does. So that would be cool if like I could have like, okay, Colin's bedroom, night scene, my bedroom goes into the night scene, but the rest of the house doesn't. And then, okay, downstairs, night scene, locks the front door, turns the living room and the kitchen lights off or down or whatever, that kind of stuff. But like I said, can't do that yet. So that's the only thing about HomeKit that I really don't like, is the scenes. Is I can't really take advantage of that because I live in a home with multiple people and not everybody can have their own scenes. So you kind of got to just customize it per your room, and then we kind of just leave the scenes alone. We'll set automations and stuff like that for the front door to lock at 9 p.m. and the porch light to turn on, that kind of stuff. But as far as running scenes and stuff like that, it's kind of a hassle because only one person can really have, we can have a night scene, but it's going to do the whole house, or it's going to do whatever you set. You can't kind of customize it on a case by case or person by person or room by room basis. So really the only issue I have with HomeKit. And if anybody has a workaround for that, other than what I just kind of described and what we do, let me know in the comments, and maybe I can make a video on some HomeKit setups and stuff like that as well. But thank you guys for watching. I know I've been doing a lot of videos just rambling on, but a lot of people seem to like these kind of just, conversational, videos on what I've been up to and what I've been using and my setups and phones and all that kind of stuff. So I am trying to do more, kind of like one-on-one content like this, instead of just having a camera pointed at a table. So if you like these, let me know, hit that thumbs up. And I will be doing some other videos here shortly as well. I actually just picked up a Mac Studio, so we're going to be upgrading the desk setup a little bit. Won't really affect the quality of the content much because I still kind of just push this Mac Mini to its limits, but I'll be able to export a little bit faster and stuff like that. Just have a little bit more power there. So thank you guys for watching. I am Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a great day.